In lesson 4.2, we'll look at the partial quotient division algorithm. It's a different way to solve a division problem, something that can be confusing and make it a little bit difficult. So when you look at a number 127, for instance, one of the things that you'll do is you'll break it down into some friendly numbers. So 127 days, and you look at it there are 7 days in a week, and so the problem was to figure out a way how many sevens are in 127. So there's different ways that you can write these things out. 127 divided by 7. 127 as a fraction is the same way. 127 divided by 7. 127 divided by 7 again. So there's some different things that you can do to help you figure those things out. When you look at the friendly number aspect of it too, you're looking at numbers that will make it really simple for you to answer these problems. And one way that you can do that, as you look at your friendly numbers, when you see your friendly numbers here, you know 100 is going to be a friendly number because 6 times 100 is 600. So it ends up being a number that you can do in your head, and that's what you got to think of when you think of friendly numbers. An example of a number that wouldn't be real great to use might be 23, because when you try to do 6 times 23, you might have to work that out on a piece of paper. So when you think of a friendly number, these are the types of numbers, usually multiples of 10, single digits, things like that. So as you're working this problem out with the partial quotient method, you can see you don't write anything up on top as you would with traditional division. You write all your partial answers over here. So I know 6 can go into 1010 about 100 times. There's my friendly number here. I get my 600. When I subtract them, I have 410 left. So now I got to see how many times can 6 go into 410. 50 would be another friendly number because I can do that in my head. I know 6 times 50 is 300. So when I subtract those two numbers, I have 110 left over. So as I look at this, I say, how many times does 6 go into 110? Now I'm going to say, well, 10 is another friendly number that I can do in my head. 6 times 10 is 60. I have 50 left over. Now when I get to the end of this here, I have 8. 6 goes into 50 8 times, which would be 48. When I subtract those, my remainder is written here. What I have to do to find my quotient is to add all of these numbers, my partial quotients, up to get 168. So now I have 168 with a remainder of 2 as my answer. Now there's a lot of different methods that you could use, different numbers you could put in here. It all kind of depends on how good you are with your multiplication facts. But this is one example of how to use that partial quotients method.